Hi, and welcome back to Living on High Alert. I think this time around, I'm going to focus on my Facebook page. I've gotten a few questions, and I wouldn't call them haters, but they're concerned, and they want some questions answered on my viewpoint and their viewpoint. So let me try to do the best. One of them was very interesting. We were talking about the three states that I mentioned that they're allowing illegals to vote in this election in the 2024. And the question was presented to me that I was incorrect because, yes, there is three states that allow it, but it's local elections. It's not the presidential election. So during this conversation, the individual wasn't correcting me. They were just informing me that, they see this as a different point of view. So let me explain my perception of the three states that are allowing illegals to vote in a local election. One, they're illegals. They do not have the right to vote in my country. So whoever came up with a brainstorm that they had the right to vote, we won't get me started on that, but I will answer your question. Local state elections turn into other elections, and they turn into the presidential election. So this local state election, you're getting your ballots. Your ballots are all computerized. They're all generated. So you think that they're not going to get generated into a state election, which all of our states are elections for one presidential election. So let me go back if I'm repeating myself. They're going to get a ballot for a presidential election because they're in the system. So let me go back further. They have no right to vote in my country. I am an American citizen to born American parents. So that's number one. So you might find my tone change a little bit, and it's not towards the individual at all because I respect everybody. It's the fact that you cannot give an illegal access to our voting system. So who granted this? They say local. Is it your councilman? Is it your boards? Is it your mayor? Is it your governor? Is it your legislation? Who authorized this? And who were the people that voted for this? This is where I go back and I state I'm living on high alert, okay? Because they jeopardized our country by granting them access. And by granting them access to voting, they granted them access to every privilege I enjoy in my country. What gave them that right? Because they voted? No. We need to go back and revisit this issue. We need to go back and we need to dig into who these individuals are because other states are going to file and they're going to follow. So no. So let me go back to answer the question. They cannot vote in a presidential election. They can only vote in a local election. This is the breakdown of the security of our country. Then they wonder why you're finding 35,000 ballots, voting ballots stuffed in a drain, a sewer drain. Then you're wondering why people are pulling down the polls. So this is a very big issue because when I voted, you couldn't even dream of doing something to touch our voting system. I understand we have the internet now. I understand the cybersecurity. I understand it very well. I understand the manipulation. I understand the access. I can't even get a library card without having a valid driver's license. So how in the hell are you going to have an illegal vote? Well, it expands more than that. They're going to get a driver's license. If they haven't already, they're going to get a Social Security card if they haven't already, and they're going to apply for all the benefits that our American veterans need, our homeless needs. So this goes more than the question of 3 states allowed them to vote, and they allow them only to vote in a local election. Do you see why living on high alert is so important to me? Because these are loopholes. These are all loopholes that 22 million people are going to use to infiltrate your benefits, America, your Social Security, American, your right to vote, American, your right to live in this country without fear, your right to bear arms. This is why I believe so much in what I am doing, even at my age. Okay, so back to the question. There's only 3 states that are allowing illegal immigrants to vote in a local election. I'm not going to say anymore. I'll elaborate it on a different podcast. The other thing is, I voted for Donald Trump. I'm going to vote for President Donald Trump again. I'm a Republican. I'm not changing my party because you're trying to force me to, and I'm not changing my Democratic colleagues to vote because they're going to vote for Kamala Harris. My only question to you, Kamala Harris, if you become my president, because I am a born American citizen. Everything that I have learned about you, I have watched you, I have seen from a national security standpoint of view, from American citizen point of view, from a mother, a grandmother, a great-grandmother, is I don't want to hear you tell me you're going to follow the law when you become president. We have an active president right now, Joe Biden. You are vice president. Why isn't he following the law? You enforcing follow the law. You're still vice president until January 20th. Whoever wins will take over. So follow the law now. That's all I ask of you. As an American, follow the law now. Secure my border now. Don't wait another few months. It's going to come to your doorstep. It's come to everybody's doorstep. So this is why this is so important to me, this election. If my president that I voted for wins election again, I'm going to hold him accountable again. But I'm going to hold you accountable because you have made it an issue that you are a black woman and a woman to be the first president. You have set those standards for yourself. I think they're wonderful standards, and I'm going to hold you accountable to them. So again, this is why living on high alert is so important, that you have to understand. I'm not going to hate you the way you hate, this country hates former President Trump. Whatever president is at the White House right now is my president. Why? Because I'm an American. And I have to help you keep our country secure, and hatred isn't going to do it. I don't worry about anything else. I worry about the future of my babies, my grandbabies, my great-grandbabies, my Lorenzo, my Ivy K. So yes, I'm going to hold you accountable. So go back again to the question that my follower wanted to know. There is just a local election. No. I'm not going to incite hate. I'm not going to hate my neighbor because they're Democrat, they're Jew, they're black, they're white. I have a hybrid family, okay? But again, listen to your words. Listen to your campaign words, as well as President Trump. I want to hear something that's going to be different and making America great. We already know what makes America great. I want to know something different. I want to see. I know we're going to close up the border. I know we're going to take care of a lot of things. But we have to broaden even that. So whoever my president becomes election day, I'm going to make either one of them accountable, Democrat or Republican. So let's go back to national security. Who has the strongest point of view to protect this country? Not one person that sits in the Oval Office. It's the millions of Americans that live in this country today will protect this country. I can't rely on you to protect it. I have to rely on me to protect myself, my neighbor that comes in harm's way of something. So go back to the original question. This is why the illegals need to be deported back to their origin. We hear over and over again in the both campaign that the open borders, they opened up the borders and they allowed all the criminals into this country. I know that from a fact because I've been on the border of Syria. I've been in Israel. I've been in third world countries. I know for a fact. I've seen it firsthand. I know what it is to be in a third world country. You have no idea, Americans, if you've never left American soil, what it is to live in a third world country or to live like a third world country. That's the difference. So what my theory is, or when they ask me on a consulting basis, what would you do different, Rebecca? I'll tell you what I would do different. I'd open up all of my prisons and send all of my death row, all of everybody that needs life sentences, and send them to their country and send who's here back with them. That's how strong I feel about my country. Open up my prisons, send them to all the third world countries, let them be a burden to them and have chaos in their country. You know, there's that one person, I'm not going to name, that an illegal killed her sister and she's raising her sister's children. Why isn't the media on top of what she has to go through? But this is what Open Borders did. And there's thousands like her, okay? Don't ever think that it might not come to your doorstep, because I'll tell you what will happen to me if an illegal committed an illegal act against my babies. You might as well handcuff me now, because there will be no trial. I will not sit and let this be used as a statistic of what happens to illegals. So my prayer and my love goes out to you. And if there's anything that I can do as an individual to help you raise your sister's children, all you have to do is ask. I will do everything I can. You're not alone. You're not alone in this country. You might feel that you're alone, but you're not. Just ask us. Tell us what you need. So go back to why the question, and my follower is so important. Her question is so important, is that they get to vote only locally. I want to put that out so strongly so that you will know when somebody comes up to you and says, oh, we're only going to vote locally in the country or in the city or in the state. You don't have the full picture. You don't understand the full picture, or you haven't been given the information of the full picture. So once again, this is why I'm going to continue to do the podcast. I'm going to intertwine my personal into some podcasts, but it won't be on the same day that I'm doing Living on High Alert. It would just be my journey, my travels, my journal. That's me personally. And we'll just go from there. We'll continue to do what we do best. So for this campaign, the most important thing to do is vote. That is your, well, I can't even say it was your birthright anymore, because it's not. It's everybody's right to vote in this country, illegals. So all I can say to you is that I hope you continue with me. I hope you give me input. I hope you share with me on whatever level that you want. I'm not offended by your questions. I won't be offended by your questions. I won't take your questions as an insult to not answer your questions. I will treat you as if and how I would like to be treated as an American born living in this country. Thank you until we meet again. May God bless this country and protect our American flag. Thank you.